So I was on the Googler Schmoogler recently, and I happened to see a lot of information about saltwater flushes. Have you seen this kind of stuff online? And by the way, do you do saltwater flushes? By the way, let me know in the comments if you do, or if you know someone who does. It's this idea of taking water, a certain amount of water, and dissolving salt in the water. Maybe the water is a little bit warm or what have you. And then people are drinking this as like a flush with the intent to detoxify their body, or as I've seen online, sometimes there are claims that saltwater flushes help get rid of parasites, help you lose weight, help you do a colon cleanse, kind of all that kind of stuff. The question is, does salt water actually do these things? I'm going to answer this question today, guys. By the way, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle, practicing family physician, on-air health expert, and video creator. Let me first talk about what salt water does do. That I sort of stand behind as a doctor. Number one, hey, saltwater gargles, okay, now I can get behind some saltwater gargles, okay? Because when you're sick, it's actually something I recommend if you have a sore throat or an itchy, scratchy throat. Saltwater gargles can be amazing, okay? So I love this idea, and literally it's like gargling with salt water. You spit it out and you move on the way. You can really sort of soothe your throat. It can kind of help sort of reduce swelling, things like that. So love that, okay? The other thing that can be really great with salt water is that sometimes high intensity athletes or people that are doing a lot of strenuous exercise or in the heat or things like that, electrolyte replacement solutions can be very helpful for them. And often there is some sort of a salt water component to that. Sometimes there are other substances as well. So that's not always it. But as a part of an electrolyte supplementation sort of rehydration system for specific people in specific circumstances, yeah, I can do that too. I can totally get behind that. Now let's go to this idea of drinking salt water, the saltwater flushes, for the sake of getting rid of toxins, impurities, parasites, and sort of all the different things, and weight loss, okay? Let's start with the weight loss piece. So this is the thing, I've done videos on some other things that are similar to this, like the lemon in your coffee, lemon in water, those types of ideas. People have said that those will help you lose weight. Guys, with all of these, including salt water, there's no hard evidence that they're going to help you lose weight. Now, as I've said before, if you drink enough liquids of any type, it might make you feel full and not want to eat as much, and perhaps there's some sort of losing weight because you're not eating as much because you've drank a lot of liquid. Okay, I mean, maybe that's the case, but by itself, saltwater flushes, no, that is not a weight loss solution that I would recommend. I don't know of any evidence behind that. The other thing is, keep in mind, a lot of us Americans and maybe others, we get too much salt in our diet already. I'm always talking to my patients about minimizing the salt that they're taking in. So I want to throw this out there as part of this conversation. We know that too much salt in our diet taking in can contribute to high blood pressure and so many other things. You've got to be very, very careful about this. And the other thing I would say is, when we talk about toxins, detoxify, parasites, etc. Look, I've said this before with many other substances. And by the way, don't turn off the video quite yet, because I'm going to tell you something that it does do that I didn't mention in the beginning. So there's some hope for some of you that are like, oh, she's just saying it don't work. What I'm saying is that there's no evidence that I'm aware of that salt water or saltwater flushes will get rid of toxins, will get rid of parasites and things of that nature. As I've said in videos before, when it comes to things like the lemon in water, lemon in coffee, and so many other things, apple cider vinegar, et cetera, we've got plenty of processes in our body that allows us to detoxify on our own, which, thank goodness for that. Our kidneys, our liver, our lungs, our GI tract, etc. So thank goodness we don't need anything to help detoxify. So no, saltwater flushes, I'm gonna say a no for the detoxify situation. Now, what I will say that it does, that I did mention in the beginning, is that if you do drink some salt water, you probably are going to go to the bathroom. It probably will help you have a bowel movement. That is the case. It would not be my recommendation to use it to have bowel movements. Let me just be very clear about that. But yes, it may make you have a bowel movement or have you have a bowel movement. Okay. This is the thing. Do I recommend drinking salt water for any of the purposes that I mentioned? Absolutely not. I also think that there can be some risks, more than what I've just talked about. I've just sort of scratched the surface. There can be potential harms with doing this, drinking a lot of it, or drinking it over a long period of time, etc. Plain water is going to be just fine for staying hydrated, etc. If you need something else, your doctor really should be the one to guide you and tell you what you should be doing. Now, as always, I have to say, as much as I would like to be your doctor, I am not. So make sure you check with your doctor about this. But I also want to know, do you drink salt water? water? Do you do these saltwater flushes? And I would also say, if you're interested in trying this, run it by your doctor to see what actually is right for you. Let me know in the comments what you do, what's going on, what you think, what your thoughts are. I'm Dr. Jen Caudle, practicing family physician, on-air health expert, and video creator. I do daily health videos on all sorts of stuff. Please subscribe to my channel, click the little bell for updates, and on Facebook, please like and follow my page. For those of you who send stars, I respond to you personally. And guys, make sure you head to my website, drjencaudle.com, so you can sign up for my free health newsletter and so much more. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen. I'll see you soon.